Hello, it's me again. I am here to do a get to know me tag, just because I felt like answering some questions about myself. So let's see how it goes. I am drinking some wine tonight. I have a Riesling Pinot Grigio mix, and there is a ton of dry shampoo in my hair because I didn't want to wash it. So you can kind of tell it's super greasy, but let's just ignore it. Okay, let's jump right in. The first question is, where did you grow up? And I grew up in Waterloo, Ontario, in Canada. Yeah, that's where I grew up. That's where I spent most of my years up until the end of college, I guess. And then I moved shortly after graduating from college. Where do you currently live? I live now in Toronto, Ontario, still in Canada. But in between then, I lived in Niagara as well. So St. Catharines area, Niagara Falls. I lived there for about maybe 10 months. So yeah, so I've been around a couple places, and I also lived in BC for 3 months as well. So I've been around. Who is your first best friend? Does that mean who was your first best friend, or who's your first best friend now? Either way, it's still the same person. My first best friend was, or her name is Lindsay, and I've known her since I was a baby. Our parents know each other through church, so we've known each other our whole lives, and we've stayed best friends. Unfortunately, she lives now in BC, so I don't see her as often, but we talk to each other every day, and we call each other at least once or twice a week. So she is my best friend. How tall are you? I am 5'1". I am quite small. Dogs or cats? Dogs, for sure. Funniest moment throughout high school? Funniest moment? Funniest? Is there another one about embarrassing? Because if there's an embarrassing one, then I have that. Okay, there's not an embarrassing one. Hopefully we don't come across it later and I just skipped across it. So I'll do an embarrassing one because that's what happens. So when I was in high school, I can't remember what year I was in, probably like grade 10. At my high school, there was a huge big staircase going towards the back of the school, and that day it was particularly rainy, so all the kids were inside waiting for the buses that came around the little loop that was by those back doors. So all the kids were waiting down there, and I was walking down the stairs in like small little high heels, but still, and I was texting on my phone, and I wasn't even looking at what I was doing. Anyways, I fell down the stairs completely, like just bombed. And at the bottom of the stairs, everybody's staring. As soon as I start falling, everybody turns and looks, obviously, because they're like, what the heck is that sound? They all turn around, and there's a huge audience just watching me fall. And I didn't cry. I kind of laughed and, laughed it off. And then I went down. My friend was walking with me. She was laughing her head off because she thought it was hilarious, which it was, like, of course. And then we walked down the hall where nobody could see us, and then I was like, my knees are so bruised, like I think I broke something. I didn't, but that's what you say. You just feel so, hurt, like in pain and embarrassed. So that was really sucky. But it's funny now, looking back, as a lot of things are after the fact. They're always funny after the fact. What year were you born? I was born in 1993. Are you or have you gone to college? I have gone to college. I went to Conestoga College in Kitchener, Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, same thing. And I went for early childhood education, and I did it for 2 years, and I finished, and I got my degree or diploma, whatever you want to call it, certificate, and yeah. I loved my college years. It was so much fun. What is your favorite drink? That's a really hard one. I drink a lot of water just because I love wine, just because. I also love coffee. I drink like 2 cups of coffee on my regular work day, and then on the weekends it's like 3+. So I really love coffee. What is your spirit animal and why? I don't really know what my spirit animal would be. I feel like something kind of silly and uncoordinated. I don't know, maybe like a baby deer. I don't know, because I'm just thinking of Bambi when he's trying to walk. Like, that's like me all the time. I'm super clumsy. I don't know. I don't really have a spirit animal. You're wearing perfume. What scent is it? Something kind of warm, not vanilla. Something more like warm and musky with a little bit of flower. The one that I like by Jo Malone is called Mimosa and Cardamom. I think that's it. Mimosa and Cardamom. So that's actually a perfect way to describe my favorite perfume. Tea or coffee? Coffee for sure. What are your life goals? Oh my gosh. What are my life goals? One of my like career goals is to one day own my own daycare, whether that's home daycare or actually out of a physical like building, like a center, not actually out of my house, but one or the other. That's definitely one of my career goals. And then I just want to be healthy and happy with a family one day, have a bunch of kids, yeah, and just have a good community surrounding me and my family, and yeah, that's about it. I don't really have anything too crazy. I kind of want to live the average life, but in my own way. What sports do you play or have you played? No sports. I don't do any sports. Don't like them. That's just the way it is. I'm not good at them and I don't enjoy them. Have any books you read changed your life? I've read a lot of books. Last year alone I read around 43. But none of them have really changed my life. I read a lot of like fantasy and I read a lot of fiction. So I wouldn't say any have changed my life. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, maybe The Green Mile by Stephen King, because I just loved that book. I loved it so much. I loved all the characters, the premise, the story, and it's kind of like, don't judge a person by how they look, or, you know, you got to get their whole story before you can really make any assumptions or judgments about them. That's what I got from it. There's a ton more of like meanings and other ways that you could interpret that. That's how I interpreted it. And one of my favorite parts about it. What is your favorite movie? My favorite movie. Oh, there's so many. Well, around Christmas time, my favorite movie is White Christmas, for sure. What else do I like to watch? I'm sure hopefully there's one about TV. No, there's not. I'll do a TV one as well. My favorite TV show is Friends. I've watched it a million times and I will watch it a million times more. I have so many favorite movies. All the Harry Potter movies I could rewatch a million times. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with White Christmas. This is my favorite movie. I love that movie so much. Oh, and The Greatest Showman. There you go. The Greatest Showman. Who are your favorite YouTubers? Right now, I really love Books and Lala. She is awesome. She reviews books. Not really. But she talks about books and her opinions on books. And she's really funny. She does a lot of challenges and reading vlogs. And yeah, she's really down to earth and easygoing. I like her a lot. I watch some Sims 4 YouTubers as well. I watch a couple makeup YouTubers. My favorite makeup one is Kathleen Lights. Yeah, I watch Mr. Kate for home decor. I watch the Sorry Girls for DIYs. I have a huge list of people that I like to watch. But right now I've been watching a lot of BookTube, so that's what I've been into. Do you speak any languages and how well? I was learning Japanese for a little bit. Me and my husband were learning Japanese. And then I also started German as well, which I haven't kept up with since January. So how well? Not that well then. Are you single or taken? I am taken. I'm married. I've been married for 3 years. We've been together for 9. So yeah, gonna stick with him, I think. What is your idea of a dream date? A dream date? Ooh. I don't know, honestly. Like, I think the ones that me and my husband have had are, like, my favorite ones. The ones where we were just, like, being kids again. Like, getting a bunch of candy and watching movies all night. Or playing video games together. I love that stuff. Or where we try and pretend to be fancy. And we go out to a fancy restaurant when clearly we don't belong. But that's always fun. What else do I like? One of the ones that I love was we went to New York for our 2-year anniversary. 2-year anniversary. And one of my favorite days was when we were walking around and we tried to find, this is really embarrassing as well, but we tried to get on to the Brooklyn Bridge, but for whatever reason, we're both terrible at directions and we have no idea where we're going, that we couldn't get there. And we didn't know how you could walk on and where you start to walk on. We just couldn't figure it out. So we just gave up and we're like, you know what, we're done. And we were just both so frustrated that we went into like a liquor store or whatever. We got a couple of coolers, and then like Brady is his name, my husband. He was like, let's just go to Central Park and just chill. And I was like, okay, fine. So then we took our coolers and we just sat in Central Park for like an hour or two and chatted and just drank our coolers and watched everybody go by and chatted about our trip so far. And yeah, that was one of my favorite dates of all time, because we took something like so unplanned, like, and tried to make it into something better, and it turned out amazing. So that was one of my favorites. So that would be a dream date, is just figuring out what to do. How long was your longest relationship? My longest relationship is the one with my husband, so 9 years. But before that, it was probably like 9 months. And that was in high school, because me and my husband met when we were 16. So not super long. How would you describe your fashion sense? It's hard to say, because I work with children, so when I work with kids, it's just like practical and things that I don't want to get dirty or ruined. That's basically my everyday. And then on the weekends, I try to dress up a little bit nicer. So I really love those flared pants. Those are fun. I like to wear overalls. I like skirts. I love dresses. Yeah, I would say, like, if we were to categorize it, it would be more on like the girlier side of things. But yeah. What is your go-to hairstyle? Pretty much this. I don't really do anything. If I'm going out, I will probably curl my hair. But to work, I wear it down. Then I'll wear it, like, the first day after I wash it, I wear it down. The next day, I wear it half up, half down. And the third day, it's in a bun or in a ponytail. And then the next day, I wash it. So that's pretty much my cycle of hair. What is your go-to fast food? Oh, I skipped one. Well, we'll do that one. What's your go-to fast food order? Usually wherever I go, I usually get chicken fingers or chicken strips or chicken nuggets, whatever you want to call them, with dipping sauce and french fries. That's usually my go-to. If I don't know what to get, I usually get that. How many siblings do you have? I have 3 other siblings. I'm the youngest. I have an older brother. He is turning 32 this year. My sister after that is turning 31. And then my sister after that is turning 28. And I'm turning 26 this year. So, there you go. Do you use PC or Mac? I use a MacBook. I have Apple products. And my husband uses Mac, PC, Apple. So he's got it all. Your most memorable vacation memory? Oh, that's really hard. Probably when I was on my honeymoon. We went to St. Lucia. We stayed at an all-inclusive, and we got to go snorkeling. That was my most memorable vacation. It was so much fun. I loved it. Yeah, it was the best, swimming around with fishes and fish. I don't know. It was a lot of fun. It was an amazing experience, and I would do it again. Easy. What are your morning and evening routines? So if I'm working, which is like every day, I usually wake up and I brush my teeth and do my makeup, and then I make some coffee. Either I make it or my husband does, depending on if I'm on an early shift or a late shift. And then get dressed, and then I go to work. And then my evening routine is come home, make dinner, eat the dinner, watch TV, read books, play video games, either one, not all of them, choose one. And then I usually go to bed around 9 or 10. And then I have to get up the next day and do it all over again. What are your morning, oh no, we just did that. Do you have any bad habits? Well, actually I do. My husband likes to point this one out a lot, is I chew with my mouth open. And also talk while I'm chewing or I have food in my mouth. That's something that he often points out. But it's also something that runs in my family. We all do it, all the siblings. So it would never get called out with them, but with my husband, he's like, come on, kill it, your mouth, close it. Tell us one thing about you that we wouldn't know. I need a sip for this. That you wouldn't know? I don't know. That's not very... I don't know. I guess I like gory movies. I don't like horror or like paranormal, but gory and like slasher videos, I guess, or movies. Those are the movies that I kind of like the Saw movies. Love it. So yeah, those are all the questions. That was 30 of them. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed if you're watching. And I will see you next time with another video soon. Goodbye.